Hi everyone, welcome. This is Manifest Tarot. I'm so glad you joined me today. This is our usual weekly Your Week Ahead reading, and I don't know if you noticed, it's already obvious. I usually go so matchy-matchy with the crystals, but today I did the contrast thing. Got the contrast thing going on here. So, this deck is for pile number 1. And I'm going to show you the bottom card for each deck. This is the High Priestess. Very interesting. There's spider things going on, light bulbs, scrolls, a whole bunch of stuff. Very fertile. Her imagination is fertile. That's what I'm getting from this card. Fertile imagination. Oh, and the crystal is this rose quartz oval. And now this pile number 2 deck has the lovers on the bottom. This is double-sided infatuation. That's what I'm getting from this card, meaning mutual infatuation. This is the second pile's card. And this is the green Aventurine oval. And then this deck is the number 3 deck, and look at this one. This is, you know what's funny is that the bunny has a tear. You know, they're leaving behind something, that this is the end of a cycle. The bunny has a tear, but the bunny's only the fairy bunny. She's the one who's actually leaving, and she's very peaceful. So this is a peaceful transition into a new chapter in your life. Peaceful transition into a new chapter. And then this crystal, I'm blanking on the name. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Hold on, one sec. It's red Jasper. It's red Jasper. Oval, of course. All right. I don't know if you can see it well enough, but it's just very, it's got so many beautiful markings on it. There I am with my beautiful again. All right, so you can pick with the deck, you can pick with the top deck artwork, the crystal, the card on the bottom, and I'm gonna leave the card name and that phrase I said for them in the description along with the timestamp, so you'll be able to kind of mull it over, and of course you can rewind whatever. So I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. I just realized how much that my nail polish matches with this crystal. Look, it's pretty amazing. So look at this beautiful crystal. This is the crystal you chose, rose quartz. Put it here with its friends. And this is the bottom card you chose, the High Priestess. These are just, all 3 are just the cards that were at the bottom of the deck since after the last time it was shuffled. So I am going to keep this out for us. Actually, I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to put this aside for a moment. And I will pick a couple oracle cards. So we have this oracle deck. Let's wake it up. So this card from this deck, I feel like just taking them out as they come out, so, or turning them around as they come out. To the Moon and Back, card number 51. Are those lovebirds? It makes sense because the saying is, I love you to the moon and back, right? Isn't that a saying? I think so. So here's these two. They kind of go well together, don't they? And then I'm going to take, there's 2 tea leaf piles. I'll take 1 card from each. I'm going to wake it up. Whoa. It jumped out so much. I'm going to take that one. And let's see, from this one, we'll wake it up. See, that's the benefit of waking up. They're ready to jump out. They already know their mission. And see, this one, so this one, Astral House. All right. Let us see. We have this tea leaf, Rabbit. Too much concern with sexual matters. How could there be too much concern? I'm sorry. There could never be too much concern with sexual matters. But anyway, let's see. We have, oops. Oh, that totally makes sense though, because we have the High Priestess, which is a symbol of fertility. I mean, a symbol. Look, I did this. Sorry. There's no big reveal on that, which is a card symbolizing fertility. And then we've got this To the Moon and Back, which is part of that saying, I love you to the moon and back. And then we have this rabbit, which is also a symbol of fertility. And I don't necessarily like this too much concern, because as I undramatically showed you, happiness is your other card. Just simply happiness, just happiness. So we can just mentally see, depending on the rest of the reading, of course, we might delete the too much. You just might have, you know, that on your mind, but it might not. We don't necessarily have to take the bad connotation that this too much is giving us. We can interpret these ourselves. So I'm going to take, this is your main deck, so I'm going to take 4 cards from this one. So again, we're going to wake it up. We're going to shuffle. Whoa. These 2 want to come out. And let's see. This one definitely. And then we have, oh, I guess this one. There's our 4 cards from this deck. And then we're going to take 2 cards from this deck. I'm sorry, 3 cards. I'll take 3 cards from this. You want 3 cards for pile number 1's week ahead. Let's do 1 more from this deck. There's this one. And then we'll take 2 cards from this deck. Wake it up. Hello, we need some cards. We need 2 cards. We need 1 more. Here's this one. There we go. All right, we have all of our cards for you, pile number 1. And this, I'm starting already have started a little bit different arrangement, and each position has its own meaning. But it's 7 positions, so we can still read it as Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so forth, all the way to Saturday. But the positions also come with a meaning. So this is Sunday's card, and it's also your past. So let us see. The 9 of Pentacles. What a beautiful card. It's a wish fulfillment card already in the past. Look, it's like a scarf, But it also looks almost like a butterfly wing on this side. And she has 4 arms. How exotic. What are you doing here? Pile number 1, you're right at the extreme edge here. You're already having a wish fulfillment card. First off. All right, so this is Monday, and it's also the present. Let's see. 10 of Pentacles? You're kidding me. Look at this. Okay, so what is this? This is a little, like a little, what is that? At first I thought it was a little like chicken skeleton. I don't know what it is, but it look, you know what? It's a little, what is this on the top? It's a woman coming out of her dress, emerging. But this looks like a little chicken skeleton that's like just hatched out of an egg. How interesting. 10 of Pentacles, even more wish fulfillment than your Sunday. Oh my God. Where are we going from here? So this is your present. All right, so this is Tuesday, and it's also your future. 3 of Cups. Get out of town. This is one of my new sayings. Get out of town, pile number 1. This is just happiness, togetherness, friendship, jollity, abundance. Look at these grapes that they have, just symbols of abundance. They're so happy. They're all together. They're having a good time. Wow. So this is like building. So your past, what you've been doing in the past is building into the present, is building into the future. Wow. Okay, so this pile number 1 is your position 4, which is Wednesday, and it's also your any advice that we need to give you. The Lover's card. I guess our advice is exactly what has been here. Fertility, to the moon and back, rabbit, happiness, like just abundance and wonderful things. Wow. But I'm going to wait to read the whole. This is just kind of a mini, like kind of a little statements here. So we're going to wait. We'll see what the other cards bring us. So this card is something external to you. It's either your environment, or it could be one person external. Of course, another person's external to you, or a group of people, situation, something external to you. What is this? This also could be Thursday. Justice. Somebody's getting some justice. Mete it out to them, maybe. Let's see what else we have. So, oh yes, for the final 2 positions, the final 2 days, I'm pulling 2 cards so we get a deeper understanding of what's going on. So this is Friday. So this was Thursday, so this is Friday. This is 2 cards. This is something that you're not aware of. It's it could be something that helps you or hinders you. It could be something hidden from you. I mean, it usually is something hidden from you, or maybe like it's just unfolding and you're just seeing some of it and you haven't seen the whole thing yet. Something like that. Something that's helping you or hindering you. We don't know yet. So let's see. The first card for this position is the 2 of Pentacles. Pumpkins is Pentacles. There's balance. There's light and dark in balance here, just like this moon, light and dark. But the funny thing is the moon, of course, doesn't generate its own light. So let's see. I'm so curious. This is the second card for this position, the Knight of Swords. Forward movement, very not just forward movement, but very authoritative forward movement, very much Someone or someone. Okay. I'm going to hold that thought because I have a lot to say about this, but I'm going to show us these final two cards, and then I'll talk about that. This is your resolution, or like something ending, and of course this is your week ahead. It can go into the future, of course. Everything builds on everything, but this is your week ahead. So some of this could be short-term energy, some of it could be more long-term energy. So this is the first card for position 7, which is Saturday. The 5 of Wands. These are apples. And then we have the 8 of Wands. Wow. More rapid movement. The 5 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. How interesting. Pile number 1, I just want to say overall, we have 2 tracks here. We have a love track and an abundance track. So I just wanted to let you know that there's 2 different things being discussed in this reading, but, or I should say, and that's, some of them are, some of the cards are going to go with both. I just wanted to share with you that even, okay, so there's this one too. There's 3 cards with 2 birds on them. I just wanted to point this out to you. So this is the only one where the birds are not matching. It's quote unquote matching. There's 2 birds here, but these lovers are different. They're taking pleasure in their differences here in this reading. And then we have these 2, they look like lovebirds, or I think that they're lovebirds. And then we have these 2 blue birds. I'm not sure if they're bluebirds or if there are some other just blue bird. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. All right, so there's something going on here that's hidden from you. I'm going to start with this one. There's something here that's hidden from you, but someone is completely determined to have their way. And if you're a conscious manifestor, you know that you are giving them this power to behave in this way. So there's someone around you that you see as someone with a lot of authority and a lot of power, and probably power over you. So I wanted to say that. So let's start with Sunday. This is the first position. There's not much else to say. This is a wish fulfillment. This is a wish fulfillment card. But pile number 1, there's so much abundance in the love portion of your reading. There's a lot of fecundity. There's a lot of just overflowing fertility. So even though this is talking about your abundance, there's also a lot of fertility here too. There's this is one of your oracle cards, the High Priestess. But to tell you the truth, this card looks more like a traditional High Priestess character than this one. Doesn't it? Because she's just out in nature. There's just a lot of abundance. There's a lot of fertility. So your abundance, this is from your past. Your abundance, you've grown something. What are you doing Pile number 1, do you own a business? Are you trying to build a business? Are you working for someone else and like really putting your all into this? There's something you're doing and you have, well, you've done in the past and you still are because we have the 10 of Cups in the present position. But there's something you have given everything to, this project, this thing that you're just completely into, like just given just about everything of yours to this project. And so we're seeing that it already has in the pretty recent past. I mean, this is a weekly reading, so this past, present, future can really be seen as, for a lot of you, it's recent past. There's something that you are just really have worked at, and it's going into the present, because we go from the 9 of Cups, Pentacles, to the 10 of Pentacles right in the next day, which is Monday, and also present. You are, in the past, you were having so much, it's hard to find the words, because in the past you were giving all of everything that you had to this project, and in the present it is bearing all of its fruits. The fruits of your labor have come to harvest. And it looks, look, you might not see it yet, because look, if she were big, if she were like the size of her clothing, and there's a hand there, so if she were the size of her clothing, she could see more. She could have a bigger picture. But there's this little dainty figure in here that is not going to get the full picture. So what I'm saying is, you might not even know, even though this is the present card, this position is number 2, it's Monday's the present, you might not even be able to recognize how abundant you are still, if that makes sense. You are in the unfolding of learning about how abundant you are. That's what I'm getting from this. This 3 of Cups, this is Tuesday, and it's also your future. You are going to have time to, relax and smell the roses very soon. Pile number 1. This is your future, but again, as it's a weekly reading, this is could very well be your near future. And you are going to be able to, with the harvest that you've worked so hard for, you've harvested all of, a lot of your work. You've come into some money, something has happened for you, and you are able to step back, breathe deeply, enjoy your time with friends, enjoy your time with loved ones, enjoy your time with your special person, and just enjoy your time. This is a very much a togetherness card, but even to enjoy your time alone, you're going to have more time to enjoy yourself in the near future, pile number 1, because you have been working so hard. You've been working so hard, and the fruits of your labor are here for you, and you just might not be able to see the full prosperity yet. So this is very interesting that your highest card, the top of the Lover's card is the apex of your the apogee of your reading right here. This is the apogee of your reading. We see that there is, how can I say this? Some people might feel that they and their special person, their specific person, have to be of one mind to get together and to stay together and to be happy together. But this is showing us extremely clearly, pile number 1, that you do not have to be like this with your specific person. Both birds are different. They are playing different games. I've said this before, but he has playing cards in his torso, and she has these figurines, and to me it looks like chess pieces. So they're playing different games. They are looking in different directions. Of course, they might be looking at each other, but it looks like he's looking at her and she's looking somewhere else. And so some people might feel like that's just not true love. We have to be one mind. But for you, pile number one, you're so secure in yourself that there's this love going on, this strong flow through of love and respect and just mutual satisfaction in the relationship. The thing is, both of you are able to realize that you can both be fully fledged human beings, separate but together. You know what I mean? You're able to understand and acknowledge each other's differences, and you still have such a wonderful relationship. There's some wonderful love relationship. If it's not here right now, then it's coming very soon, and it's a beautiful, wonderful, oh my gosh, look at this. Did you see how I happened to just place it like this? But do you see what it says? It says, too much happiness. Too much happiness matters. Actually, that's what it says. Too much happiness matters. As in, you're just going to have so much happiness in all of the aspects of your life that it's going to feel like almost too much, but it's never enough. I mean, it's never too much. You can never have enough abundance. You can never have enough happiness. You can never have enough love. It's just always, if it's too much, it's just enough, in my opinion. So there's just so many strong, beautiful, favorable things in your reading. So we come to this curious position here. This is card 5. This is Thursday, and it's something external to you. It's something in your environment. It's something, maybe one other person, maybe several other people, something that is outside of you. And I feel like it's really connected to this, to tell you the truth. That something in I feel like these two positions are connected, so I'll just reintroduce this one. This is position 6. This is Friday, and this is something that is either going to help you or hinder you, and it's something that is probably hidden from you, and if it's not all hidden from you, at least some of it, like it might be partially revealed to you now, but not fully. Just like this, like I feel like you're definitely not even seeing the full gravity of the abundance that you are receiving. So let's see what this means together. We have this Justice card, very busy, very busy. It's a very whimsical illustration, but it's really plain, it's weighing these two things, the rat versus these turnips. The turnips look very concerned about the rat. The rat probably wants to, what might happen? Oh gosh. All right, here I go. Hold on. Here I go with my crazy stories. So what might happen here is this rat is thinking about taking a huge bite out of one of these radishes. And so therefore, what would happen if the rat took some of what's on this side and if it eats a big chunk of this radish, then it's going to get heavier. So it's going to feel heavier, and it's going to win. So I know that's quite a story here, but what's happening, there might be something that you're feeling a little afraid that you might not get treated fairly. There's something that you feel like you might not get treated fairly, or that you might be even, there might be even some treachery or some really bad dealings, right? Let's look at these two. We have this Two of Pentacles, which is balance. There's light and dark here, and there's light and dark here. And the fact that the moon only reflects, it doesn't produce light, of course, it only reflects light, is important here, because there's some complex, I feel like this is echoing the story in here, where it's two sides of some person, because this is something that might help you, something that might hinder you. And I feel like it's both. It's something that might help you, and it's something that might hinder you. It's something that's hidden from you partially, at least partially. There's something going on in your life, pile number 1, that you have very complex feelings and thoughts about. This Knight of, is there some sort of court thing going on? Is there some sort of contest you've entered yourself into? Is there some sort of promotion at your work that you're vying for? Is there some job that you've applied for? Is there some have you applied to take out a loan? It could be, it's probably something like that. It's probably something that's pretty major. Have you put an offer on a house? Have you, are you in the market for a car? There's something going on that seems pretty big to you, and it might not be, life-changing. It might be something smaller, but you have complex thoughts about it, and you're kind of dragging in some real, I don't want to say fears, but it might be fears. For some of you, it might be just some more complex thoughts that you're feeling, I might be dealt with fairly, I might not. I don't know. And so the world is reflecting your good thoughts about it and your bad thoughts about it. So you're going to get mixed results depending on how you approach this. And the Knight of Swords is going forward, and there's somebody out here. There's somebody out here in your world that you are seeing with a lot of power over you, as I've already said. I'm not sure if this is a love relationship. It just seems more like it's in this businessy area. So what matters most, if you're a conscious manifestor, pile number 1, what matters most is your thoughts about this situation. So if you are thinking good thoughts, and not just thinking good thoughts, like, thinking things like, everything always works out for me. Everything is always working out for me, is a great one. If you're thinking, this situation, whatever you're in, is going to work out for me, then the moon is going to reflect those light thoughts. If you're thinking, nothing ever works out for me, the moon, aka, your outer world, is going to reflect those negative thoughts. So that is all 3 of these cards. Both of these positions are very mixed up, and it feels like just in this one area, because these seem like they're just meant to be read together, but they're not kind of bleeding out into the rest of this. You've got some real abundance promised, and you've got some great love relationship promised. But there's this one issue that's kind of sticking in your craw, so to speak. Very interesting. So now we get to this. This is our resolution. And we have the 5 of Wands, and we have the 8 of Wands. And so for me, both of these are, they're both answering different lines. So let's take this one first. This one is kind of your answer to this line, which is you are feeling very conflicted about this thing in your life. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it going to turn out well? Is it going to turn out rotten? Is it going to reflect my positive thoughts? Is it going to reflect my negative thoughts? And what this card is saying is, if you looking within yourself and finding why you are approaching this with such anxiety is only going to help you to examine. It's going to help. Examining your thoughts about this is only going to help you. It's going to help you to resolve this and just say, hey, this is how I feel about this situation, and this is how I want it to go. And it sounds both extremely easy and extremely difficult for a lot of us. But pile number 1, examining your thoughts, and I'm not necessarily saying like go back into your childhood and dredge up anything that's even remotely connected with this subject. I'm just saying there's something in you that you're feeling unsure about in this particular arena, whatever it is, and coming into your inner landscape and examining how you feel about it and cleaning up your thoughts is going to be 100% more effective than trying to muck it up in the 3D. Like, not muck it up, like it's going to be 100% more effective than trying to affect things in the 3D. Trying to force something in the 3D, it's really your own inner thoughts about this, because that is where all of this duality is coming from. That's where all your worry is making this light and dark outcome possible. Your worry and doubt is making the good and bad outcome possible. So looking at this from the new perspective that you can take is going to make all the difference, pile number 1. Because remember, you're promised too much happiness. Too much happiness, pile number 1. Who else likes too much happiness? I like too much happiness. And then this 8 of Wands is just great forward movement on things you want the forward movement to be on. Like, especially with this love relationship, there's just acceleration in the way that you want it. And also, it seems like you've done so much work in your prosperity. You're in the midst of it, even though you might not know it yet. But this Lovers card, this love relationship, might not be as far advanced, and you are really seeing that happiness is promised to you. Too much happiness. Too much happiness matters. So funny. And you are loved by the friends and the family and your specific person around you. You are loved, pile number 1, to the moon and back. And I'm going to end there because that is such a beautiful way to end it. Too much happiness and loved to the moon and back. Pile number 1, this is your week ahead reading. And I know that you enjoyed this reading because it was so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and you have so much to look forward to, and you have so much to be happy and proud about. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate all of the likes, comments, and shares that you give, and I would love it if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so that you don't miss any readings. And I know I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. This is your Halloween deck, which is timeless. It's dateless and timeless. I know it's not Halloween season right now when I'm reading, but who doesn't love a good Halloween deck? So the bottom card is this Lover's card, and a Lover's card came up in pile number 1, just so you know, in case you're drawn to the Lover's card today. And I'm going to keep that here, and you also chose this green Aventurine oval. And put that there. So I'm going to put this aside here for now while I take a few more oracle cards. So this is the first oracle deck I'm going to take. I'll just jiggle these and wake them up and ask for 1 card. There we go. And I've got 2 stacks of these tea leaves, so I'm going to take 1 from each deck. Let's jiggle them up. I'm going to do it one more time. Whoa, guess that was the one. And this is the second half. Whoa, whoa. Which one was it? I think it was this one. Oop. Yes. I caught a glimpse of one. I think it was this one. So we're revealing it first. June. All right. So let's put this over here. And this is this first oracle card. Number 21, Tiny Triumphs. What a cute card. Look at did you see the little chapeau on the raven or crow or whatever it is? Oh, how cute. And we have this June card. Everything's coming up roses. And ring. A marriage will take place either romantic or business. Wow, this is funny. Pile number 1 also had a strong romance and abundance thing going on with it. So, all right, so this is your main deck. So I'm going to take 4 cards from this. Let's wake it up. Let's take that one. This one, and I know exactly which one I want, so it's gonna take that out, and then one more time this one, and then we will take 3 cards from this deck. And let us see. This card. Pile number 2 needs some messages. Oops. I took 4. Well, there I go. And I'm going to take 2 from this deck. Whoa. There's 1. And 2. I wonder why I took 4 cards. I wonder why we needed 4 cards. All right. So we're going to start with this one. This is Sunday, and it's also your past. So let's see what it is. The King of Swords. Some very serious judgment things are going on. This is your second card. It's Monday, and it's your present. 3 of Pentacles. We've got some abundance going on, some work and rewards. All right. This is your future card, and it's also Tuesday. The 7 of Cups. A very significant choice in your future. Since it's a weekly reading, I see that this is much more of the near future. And this one, this is card number 4. This is Wednesday, and it's also a card signifying advice. So let's see what this is. The Page of Pentacles. She must have been reading Hamlet, so she's giving the soliloquy with the pumpkin instead of the skull, and she's got a cat, she's got a ghost, and she's got a moon as her audience. Maybe she's in the school play. All right. So let's see. We have, looks like we're going to have 3 cards for the final position. I think that's what's going to happen. This card is your environment. Actually, I feel like it's 2 cards for this position. This is Thursday, and it is your environment. It's either something else. It's something outside of it, something external to you. It's something either a situation, or it's one person, or it's many people. It's just something external to you. The 5 of Pentacles, some sort of scarcity mindset here. And this is the second card for this position. We have the 2 of Wands. Very interesting. So the 2 of Wands is, well, I'm going to reveal all the cards first. This position is something that's either helping you or hindering you, and it's something that could be hidden or partially hidden from you, something like that. The Emperor. Look at these rams. This Emperor card. In the background, there's these little stone guards. Emperor. And then we have the Tower. Wow. Some major changes coming for you. All right, so this is position 7. It's Sunday. Oh, if I start. So this is Thursday, this is Friday as well for days of the week. So this is Saturday, and this is some the resolution. So let's see what we have here. We have the 5 of Swords. And we have the 3 of Wands. So we have the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. And that makes sense because we also have the Tower. What is going on with you? There's some major thing here this week. Well, pile number 2, we have a pretty monumental reading for a Your Week Ahead reading, I have to say. There's something going on with you. There's something going on with you. And something that in the past you thought you had it all figured out. And this might be, pile number 2, this might be something that you thought you wanted, or something that you thought you didn't want, and you're changing your mind. it might be something like that, where it's something like you thought you wanted this one person and you don't. Or you thought you wanted this one career path and instead you want this career path. You thought you might want to move to this place, but instead you want to move to this place. And you're in the process of like changing your mind about it. There's something going on, but the good news is there's some stability at the end because we have this ring. There's like some sort of stability happening. There's some contract. If it's business, there's some contract at the end. If it's a relationship, there's some either renewed relationship or new relationship at the end. And there's these tiny triumphs that's saying, you know, even if you're having to refigure out your life, there's still beautiful, wonderful, magical things happening every day. That change is not necessarily the worst thing ever. But let's go through this one by one because it's very interesting, this progression. It looks like you in the past, this is your past card, looks like you, pile number 2, had everything figured out. You thought. You were clear, you thought, my life, the rest of my life is going to look like this. This is what it is. This is what I'm going to want. This is how the next 10 years are going to look like. This is how the next 20 years are going to look like. This is what this, blah, 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 blah. And you really thought that was it, that is exactly what everything, you know, you just had the whole thing laid out for yourself. That's basically, there's nothing else. It's just you thought that everything was done and you were working toward it, and you were kind of, it was, you know, this person is working on this giant structure and they're putting almost the finishing touches on it. You got really significantly far in this journey that you thought was going to take the rest of your life. You thought that this is it. This is my life's work. This is my life's my life partner. These are my friends I'm going to have for my rest of my life. This doesn't have to, and I just want to make sure I'm making this clear. This doesn't have to be wholesale change, like you're going to throw out your entire life and get a new one. It could be just one aspect. It could be you have a friend or a major, like a best friend or a friend group that you're just thinking, I don't have anything, you know, whatever it is. I don't have anything in common with them anymore, or there's a lot of infighting now, or, you know, whatever. Or it could be a relationship. I would prefer this person rather than this person. That I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with this person. Now I'm whatever, you know, like now I'm moving away from them. Or as I said, you know, I already talked about some other options, but it doesn't mean that your entire life has to change. It could, but there's something pretty significant in your life that's changing, and you did quite a bit of work in the, as I said, in the path that you thought was going to take your entire life. So let's see, this is your future. And this is pretty soon in the future. Again, this is your week ahead reading. So this is quite, you know, this is quite soon in the future. It's not some distant future. Number one, I love that this is a spacefaring individual. It's an astronaut with a little spaceship flag. But anyway, you're going to be faced with the choice point. You are going to be faced with the choice moment, even though you already know it's coming. You know it's coming, but if you wait too long, okay, this is the thing. This is what this card means for you. You're either going to say, okay, I have to make this choice and I'm going to control how I make it, or you're going to be forced into, this is, you know, like, this is the moment. You can't not make a choice now. You're either going to control the choice, or you're going not control the choice. I miss kind of, you know, misspoke. You're always going to control the choice because you are going to be able to do the one choosing, and you want to do the choosing, and you have to do the choosing, but it's only the timing and the circumstances that you're either going to control or not control. I hope I'm making that clear. You're going to choose, you're going to control the choice. You just are going to control or not control the circumstances and timing. So in your future, you are going to have to make this choice. You're going to have to do the choice between A and B. If you delay, if you try to, like say, oh, I'm like being stuck somewhere, there's a million ways you can do it. But if you want to control the circumstances and the timing, you can do that. If you want to just kind of float along until you're forced, you can do that. There's no right or wrong way. It's just that this choice is coming for you. Woo! Pile number 2, you have quite a significant reading. This is quite a significant change for you. And it's something that you want. The key is to remind yourself, if you start getting a little waffly, like if you start getting a little like, oh my gosh, whatever, remember, it's what you wanted. This is what you want. But we get so comfortable sometimes that even something we don't want or don't like, we're still kind of trying to hold on to it because it's what we know. So this is the perfect advice card for you. This is the perfect advice card for you, pile number 2, which is study your options and before you make your choice. If you're thinking, I want to move, I thought I was going to stay in this X town, X city, X country, whatever it is, planet. Maybe you're going to a new planet. Maybe you're going to go to Mars. We don't know. But anyway, what I'm saying is you realize, let's say, just pick one, as I said, say it's that you're going to move. You can get out of the library or, whatever, check out the website, do research on where you would like to live and make your choice. This is not a choice where you are going to have to scramble, where you're going to have to like run around and scrabble at the, in the dirt for a couple pennies to do it. No, you're gonna be able to do what you want, and this is what you want. This is what you already wanted. Everything's great. But if you don't do the research, you are gonna not control the circumstances of the choice. But you can and should. Your advice card is to do your homework and really make your choice in the calm and rational way that you would like, that's going to be best for you. And I'm not saying rationalism like you have to make a rational choice. What if you just are like, I love Paris and I just want to move there? And it doesn't have to be rational. If that's what you want, you can just do it. But the biggest advice is if you're gonna go with a big decision that is more less intellectual and more like just emotional, that's fine, but still do your research, get all your paperwork in order, whatever. So that's just such a clear message for your advice. And now we come to this very interesting position here, this environment. So this is kind of, we're kind of going from this advice into like what might happen if you don't do this in your controlled manner. You might start getting a little bit of poverty mindset, because if you don't control, if you wait and let others control or circumstances control your time of choosing, then you might be a little bit unprepared. You might get this sort of poverty mindset, and it is preventable by looking out into the world and deciding what you want. Whatever it is, do you want? Which relationship? If it's your relationships, which partner? If it's just one partner, but you want to be able to choose, but you want to choose how this relationship's going, you choose that. If it's where you live, you choose where. If it's it doesn't have to be monumental. It could be just like between two cars, but cars, even let's say you know that your current car is like, at the end of its wheels, on its last wheels, so to speak. We usually have cars for years and years. It's not, we're just like, oh, getting a new car, whatever. It's not like it's a monumental change, but it's something you're probably going to be using almost every day for years and years, and trusting your life and your friends and your family's lives to how good this car is, this vehicle. So even something like that, you want to maybe like not wait until you're broken down on the side of the freeway to choose, okay, I got to get it now. Maybe we're these things might or might not be monumental, like moving to a new country, but they're still significant enough that you really want to do it when you want to do it. And that would be a tiny triumph. This could be, if what you're doing is a smaller thing, the tiny triumph might be that you did this in exactly the way you wanted to. If this is a monumental thing, the tiny triumph is I can make monumental changes to my life without descending into this poverty mindset, because I did the thing that I really needed to do and make my choice and study and make my preparations so that everything will work out exactly, everything, I made my preparations so everything worked out exactly the way I wanted it to. So looking into your life, looking into your world, looking into your interior self, making the decision will prevent this poverty mindset, this worry, this doubt, this fear from coming up to you. So we have this very interesting next thing. Tower and Emperor. It's interesting because we have stability and we have the antithesis of stability. We have change and we have the antithesis of change. We have fundamental change and we have fundamental stability. Very interesting. And this is something that helps or hinders you. And in this case, it's kind of funny because maybe the Tower card, the Tower card is just like, ooh, scary, oh, we don't want, but you want this change. There's something you want to change. So the Tower card might be what's helping you, and the Emperor card might be what's hindering you. Whereas you're like, let's take the car, for example, because a car is not something that's so fundamentally, how can I say, it's not so important that like our whole world is going to change. Yeah, a new car is a huge thing. It's a lot, it's a lot of capital outlay. It's a lot of learning new and all the new systems and everything like that. It's a big thing. But you're comfortable in your old car and it's on its last wheels, but you're kind of reluctant. You're like, oh, well, maybe I can get another couple months out of it. Oh, maybe blah, 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 blah. But then you're going to, not not choosing the time of replacement is going to maybe find you stuck on the side of the road somewhere. And, you know, in that case, the Emperor would be the card, the outcome that you don't want, because you were thinking, oh, it's stable, but the old tried and true was not what you needed. You needed the new. You needed the old, in out with the old, in with the new. So very interesting. It's an interesting combination. And now we have the Resolution, which is another just very interesting combo. And it kind of puts, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I kind of was like, yeah, but now that I'm thinking about it, there could be an element of otherness, like there could be an element of you inadvertently causing a bleed out from your, like figuratively, like causing your choice, your if you're kind of waffling or procrastinating, this situation that you want to change yet are kind of procrastinating on changing might leak into a relationship. Like you are, let's say you're starting this new relationship and it's like, oh, I really like this person, and you know, like the love is there, and I'm like imagining all of these beautiful things happening and blah blah blah, and you keep on being late because your car keeps breaking down. And they're like, does this person not even like me? So there's things that you might not think, like, oh, you know, if my car is on its last wheels, that's not going to affect anything else, but it might, and you might not even be seeing it. So it's really interesting with this Five of Swords. And then we have this Three of Wands, which is just one more invitation for you to put into action what you were doing up in this Two of Wands, looking at what you want to change, making sure that it's like time after time after time, all these cards are saying the same thing. You, pile number two, are the agent that must change this thing in your life. And the only thing that is going to be able to be, you have to make the choice, you have to make the change. The only thing you're going to be able to control is the when. And also the choice. Like if you're like, I need to move, you're going to be able to decide where to move, but not the fact that you are going to move. So if it's a relationship, there's a lot of stuff in this card, in these few cards about two of these things are major relationships or business. So it could be business, it could be I, pile number two, want to start a business, or I, pile number two, want to grow my business, my side business, into something that will be able to support me instead of having to go to work and also doing the side business, something like that. You know, it could be a big thing. It could be a smaller thing, but it could be a big thing, pile number two. And as I said, this relationship, there's something, even if this thing that you're having to change is not a relationship, then this is just side good news about your relationship. Because we have this Lovers card, we have these tiny triumphs, we have a marriage will take place, either romantic or business, and we have June, which is like lovely, like, you know, if it's some sort of wedding thing, it's like the wedding month, right? June, it's roses and beautiful weather and just romance and everything. So this is just an extra. If this is nothing about a relationship that you're knowing that you have to change, then there's just great news about your relationship. And of course, the last thing I want to point out is that we have this June card. So if there's some timing, if this is a major thing, maybe June is when you have to either decide or when you have to either make a real push to get it done. And it could be summer. because so you're, you know, if wherever you're living, it could be actual month of June. It could be 6 months from now because June is the 6th month. It could be 6 weeks, 6 days. I don't know. You know, if it's a smaller thing, it could be 6 days. We don't know. Or I don't know, but you might know. Because if it's a huge thing, it might be a little bit more time. Hopefully it gives you a little more time. If it's a smaller thing, you might say like, okay, within 6 weeks, I have to get, you know, pile number 2, I'm going to get a new car, or what, something like that. I don't know, but you will know because this is your desire. And you're going to know what I'm talking about because this is your desire. And you are given, like, this is giving you an actual guidebook. It's giving you a play-by-play guidebook of how you should affect this change in your life. What an interesting reading. And pile number 2, you are amazing. And I am so happy that you joined me for this reading. I am so appreciative of any like, comment, and share that you give this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because then that means that you don't miss any future readings. And I know that you love this video because it's so awesome, just like you, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose this deck, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to take out this bottom card that we saw at first. This is the 6 of Swords. I'm going to put this here. So there's something ending, and this kind of ties into pile number 2, actually. So I'm going to put this here, and I'll show you your red Jasper oval, and I'll put that there. So yes, this card that you saw, this ending to this, like, this ending that you, oops. Well, I guess you needed to see that. White Rose of Hope. This ending that you chose really ties into pile number 2's message as well. So let's wake this deck up. This is the first of 2 oracle decks I'm going to use. Eva. Let's see. This is card 16, Eva. Blooming anew. There's like a new beginning, a new world blossoming out of the old. So we have these tea leaves. There's 2 piles, and I'm going to wake these up. I'm going to pull 1 card from each pile. Well, we already know exactly which one we want from this one. Let's see. Wake up this one. Whoa. Well, you have some messages jumping out at you, pile number 3. All right, this one is rat. Someone working against you behind your back. Look, it looks kind of like a muskrat or an otter. Very interesting. And then we have this elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Wow. Very nice. All right, so we have this. This is your main deck, so I'm going to pull 4 cards from this one. We need 4 cards for pile number 3 for their week ahead. We need 4 cards. Please. There we go. And we're going to use 3 cards from this one. Well, I guess No, let's see. This one. And then we need 2 more. There's that. And then we're going to take 2 cards from this deck. So there's this one and this one. How interesting. I love these cards are so interesting. I'm so intrigued to see what else we get. So this is both Sunday's card and your past. The 2 of Wands. Pile number 2 got the 2 of Wands as well. So this is your present, and it's also Monday. The Justice card. Someone's meting out some justice with a long-legged steed. All right, and this is Tuesday's card, and this is your future as well. The 7 of Pentacles. It's kind of funny. You'd think it's 8 because she's kind of a spider. You'd think there'd be 8, not 7. Maybe these are 7-legged spiders. All right, so this card is advice. The King of Wands. Can you see that? Yes. How interesting. All right, so this position is that, so that's Wednesday. So this is Thursday. It's also something external to you, like your environment, there's circumstances, there's environment, could be a single person, it could be multiple people, something outside of you. 6 of Wands. Look at, they're bringing the cat in the parade with them. It's a nighttime parade too. You don't see many nighttime parades. All right, so let me move these over a little bit. And then we have 2 cards for this next position. It could be Friday. This is something that is helping you or hindering you, and it's usually something that's kind of either hidden or partially hidden. It's not clear to you yet. So this is your first card. It's the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. This I think it was this exact card that was in pile number 1. This is the second card for that position. Ooh, the World. Wow, there's some great fortune coming to you quickly. Pile number 3. Now this position is the Resolution. So let's see what we've got here. This is the first card, the 2 of Cups. This is the Love card. This is more clear of a romantic love. This is a romantic love card that's way more romantic love than the Lover's card. So curious. Well, this is our final card. The 9 of Swords. Wow. What a contrast. We've got the 9 of Swords, and we have the 2 of Cups. How interesting. What's going on? I wonder if this has something to do with a rat. This is like the spirit animal of your entire reading, pile number 3. There's some journey you're going on, and it's a lot of internal stuff going on. It's not necessarily, not necessarily a journey of walking or driving or flying or whatever. It's an internal journey. It's going to leave you wiser at the end. This is a long journey, either physical or mental, but in this case, it looks very mental, internal. this says physical or mental, but I'm just saying more interior journey. Wow. And I think that this someone working against you behind your back is really you. Especially now that we have this 9 of Swords. This is you. This is you, pile number 3. You're working against yourself, and you can really work against yourself. You can really work against yourself, or you can really work with yourself. Because there's something ending. There's some cycle that's completely ending. This is kind of standing in right now for the Wheel of Fortune. There's a new cycle in your life in this particular thing, this particular subject. And I think it's really your love relationship. And we have the Wheel of Fortune light, and we have the World in the same reading. So it's very significant to you. Very significant to you. And for many of you, it's going to be a love relationship. And this is not saying you have to change your relationship and that your relationship's going to fall apart. This is not that, although it could be. It's not necessarily that, and I don't think for most of you it is that. I'm saying that there's an internal journey that you have to take to end up as the 2 of Cups, blissfully happy and in love, rather than taking the journey and ending up as the 9 of Swords in despair. You're going to start out looking out at the world. So, okay, in a nutshell, this whole reading is you're starting out as the 2 of Wands, looking out into the world and saying, I, pile number 3, am getting to this position. And depending on which way you go, and most importantly, how you are internally as you go, you're either going to end up as a beautiful love relationship or in the pits of despair. Just saying it for you. So anyway, this is the past. And actually, I think this is still going on. This was the past, and it's still in your present, because there's a choice of... There's a choice that you have made, and you're still in the process of not making the choice, but coming to terms with this choice of what you want and what you're going to do, who you're going to be with, what you want your life to look like. And you have done lots of soul searching, and you're still kind of doing it. But I feel like you're still kind of stuck in this past position, because you're being called to like take action and charge forward and stand up for yourself. I'm sorry. Stand up for yourself, to yourself. You are going to have to stand up for yourself and demand justice from yourself, pile number 3. If you in the past you were thinking, oh, I want this person X, to be my specific person, to be in a relationship with this specific person, and you're still dwelling and you're still thinking, I want, not I have, not trusting yourself, not trusting them, not trusting love in general, all of these excuses that we, do to sabotage ourselves, you're having to demand from yourself the strength and the fortitude to stop that, to slay the doubt monster, to slay the inaction monster, and to ride off as the crusader for love. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen right now. Pile number 3. That's what you got to do right now. That's all I can say. You got to just do it. There's no other way to do it than to just do it. And that's where this work card is. This pile number 3, you have the 7 of Pentacles. There's work. Because I'm kind of like saying this and this. It's like these are very, you know, there's a lot of things with nuance. Pile number 3, you know. There's a lot of things in readings with a lot of nuance. It's like, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's the other thing, but these 2 cards are saying point blank, this is what's happening. This is what you should have already done, but you're still letting it linger. This is what you have to do. You have to demand justice from yourself and say, this is what I want, this is who I want, and I am determined. And I'm slaying my doubt monster, and I'm galloping off on this weird long-legged steed with a neck ruff. No 2 ways about it. So anyway, it's work. That's what this card is telling us, that you, pile number 3, are having to delve into your own mind. And you might have to every day. These 2 cards are kind of, this is your present and this is your future. The thing is, if you want to, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to slay this doubt monster and ride off, that's awesome. You feel great. You feel like, oh, I've done it. That's done and dusted. You know, like done and dusted, all done. You're probably going to have to slay that doubt monster every day for weeks. You're going to have to ride back into battle every single day and defeat that monster. Maybe for some of you, yes, that's awesome. You only have to do it once. That's great. That's fabulous. I love it. But if you have to work at it, if you're the person that has to work at it, you just have to work at it. Do you want it? Then you got to work at it. You got to slay the monster over and over again until it just shrinks away into nothingness. Because look, that's the advice you're being given. Look, this is just an extension of this. Pretty soon, first of all, this one, she has to slay it by hand. She has to look it in the eye and slay it by hand. It's more difficult. You have to look it in the eye and say, I repel this doubt. I now think this. Like, my doubts, this is a very deep reading, I just have to say. My doubts of I'm not lovable. Nothing ever works out for me. People don't love me. You know, there's so many horrible things we tell ourselves about ourselves. It's just like, how many terrible things can a person say about themselves to themselves? We find a way every day to do this. We have to maintain our new mindset. We want something, we got to do the work to get it. And it's not going out chasing someone. It's doing the internal landscape work to change our thoughts. And so as I was saying, the first several times you kill this, you slay. I'm going to have to use the correct terminology. You slay this doubt monster. You have to look it in the eyes and slay it by hand. If you continue to do it, if you continue to ride into battle every day and slay this doubt monster, gradually you are going to turn into this King of Wands, where you can just deploy, this is your new beautiful thoughts. This is your old terrible thoughts. This is the old thoughts that said, I, pile number 3, am not lovable. I, pile number 3, am not good enough. I, pile number 3, never have anything work out for me. These are your new beautiful thoughts. And your new beautiful thoughts are, I, pile number 1, am lovable. I, pile number 1. I, pile number 3, am lovable. I, pile number 3, am good enough. I, pile number 3, always have everything work out for me. And those new beautiful thoughts are going to then slay the old terrible thoughts. And look, you're just kind of lifting your skirts and allowing the the new thought monster, the new clean, gorgeous thought monster with pink wings slay the old thoughts. And I just have to say, pink and green are opposite colors, right? No, they're not really, they're kind of clashing but kind of going. And they're not, they both have blue in them, so they're not opposite colors, but they are pretty different colors, and they still go together, and they're actually very beautiful together. So I'm just saying the way that your top of your card looked against the kind of complementary but clashing color is kind of appropriate here with this. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I did. So this is the ultimate expression of you, pile number 3, changing your thoughts to manifest what you want. And remember, you want it. You want it, you got it, you just got to work at it. You just got to clean up your thoughts. I, pile number 3, want person X. I, pile number 3, I'm going through these steps and I get person X. I, pile number 3, don't go through these steps. I get despair. All right, so that's your advice. This is so clear, this whole journey. And this journey is also encapsulated in this, like the bunny is the bunny is crying. The fairy bunny is crying, but you are peacefully floating along because you know that this work is getting you exactly what you want. So this card is your external environment, and there's some beautiful recognition for you. We don't know, I don't know if this is something related to this or not. It could be related to it. It could be not, because this could be something like with your job. It could be with your family. It could be something else, or it could be that you do this work and then you get beautiful acknowledgement from your specific person. But there's something external to you that is giving you the most lovely and loving acknowledgement, beautiful acknowledgement. So they're very touching. All right, so so that's Thursday, so we're coming to Friday. So this is what helps you or hinders you, and it's very clear this is helping you. This is helping you. We have the Knight of Swords, you charging forward with determination to get the world that you want. This is your determination. What's helping you or hindering you is obviously this is helping you. And what is helping you is you and your determination, and you going back to, yes, this is my choice. Yes, it's worth it for me to do the work. So this is me slaying my doubt monster every day, until I can just deploy my new thoughts and they slay it for me. And then all of this happens. I bloom into a new version of me. I'm the new me. I'm blooming into the new version of me. This rat is me working behind my back, though. My old doubts, my old fears. So if you, pile number 3, allow this rat to win, you end up with this despair. If you allow this beautiful expression of yourself, it's like there's no mistake that these two came up, are like right above and below each other, because these are just saying this exact same thing. I'm blooming into this beautiful new version of myself. and I am encapsulating this giant dragon thought. So it's so interesting too. I didn't even point out yet. At first she's slaying the dragon, then now she's grown to deploy the dragon. That's you. You are at first slaying your thoughts, and it's grinding hard work. It's bloody. It's nauseating. You get blisters on your hands. You're like saddle sore. You're just terrible. But then you're able to deploy your thoughts, and your dragon is your thoughts now. Instead of having to battle your thoughts, you use them as your weapons. At first, you have to battle your thoughts. By the end, you're using your thoughts as weapons. It's just so gorgeous how this whole reading is just saying the exact same thing in a beautiful way. So what's helping or hindering you is helping you, is helping, and the helping is from you. And so then we come to this resolution, and as I've already said, it's either you do this work, and you know, you are promised. Pile number 3, you are promised that if you do the work, you get this gorgeous love. It's the most beautiful, wonderful, harmonious, spectacular, romantic love. If you give up, you are left with this despair and sadness. Who wants that? Who wants that? We all want this, right? We want this. We want this. You want this, pile number 3. You want this. And what a magical reading. It's kind of mind-blowing. These readings are just so meaningful and beautiful and so powerful. They're so powerful. Pile number 3. This is your gorgeous reading. It's so succinct and so just magical as it brought us around this journey, this beautiful message. I am so happy that you joined me for this, and I hope it's given you so much hope and so much determination to go after what you have wanted and what you have already decided you want. That is for you already. It's laid out for you. You just have to learn. Instead of battling your thoughts, you might have to battle them for a while, but then you are going to deploy them like a beautiful weapon against any doubts and fears, and you come to the end that you want. So I am so happy you joined me. Please be sure to like and share and comment if you enjoyed this reading, but I know you did. I know you enjoyed this reading. It was a beautiful, gorgeous reading, and you are a beautiful and gorgeous person. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss any future readings. I know I will see you very soon. Bye for now.